Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Belly Up Sound Off. I am, of course, your host, Jerry Clem. We are joined by Big Boss Mike Brown, my former sidekick, Mark Riley, and my rival and the rookie of Belly Up Sound Off, hook 'em horns, they lost to the Tigers, Mr. Jack O'Hara, host of the O-Show podcast. Boys, we had some breaking news break before the show. We'll talk about college football week 2, NFL week 1. We got a lot. We got a big show. We might go over an hour on this one, but here we go.
If you have anything to say
Big
about
Boss Mike, you got a breaking news headline for us. How would you start us off here?
I'm so tired of this breaking news, and I'm sure most can contest, especially Jack, since you guys just had this conversation how long ago. But the whole AB thing, the dude's been in the news for the past month. I'm not downplaying the situation that's going on right now. Essentially accused of 3 different counts or 3 different sexual assaults. I think it's based his old trainer or somebody like that. Now he's come out and said that he's going to countersue. He's released a statement. There's been emails released that are really graphic about the whole situation. Nobody knows what's going on. There's 2 sides to every story. This is just hitting. But some of this seems like it stems from 2017 when he signed his contract. I've read different things that the person suing had legal troubles or had back taxes and asked him to invest into their properties and different projects. Within the next 24 hours, everything's going to come out. We're going to hear more, which means AB and the Patriots and everything else are going to be in the news. But the one thing I do have to say is if the Patriots are who we thought they are and who they say to be every year, a situation like this, if found guilty, usually would result in a release. So we'll see. I mean, not to go on a tangent about AB, but what do you guys got? What do you guys think?
Jack, you're the rookie. How about you shoot this one first?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. It took you guys long enough to invite me on to this little shindig of yours. Mike just like sitting down on his toilet in his bathroom there with the belly up banner.
Yep,
that's exactly where you are right now. Mark,
no better place than the shitter though.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
In his childhood bedroom. Guess I'm the only one around here.
Hey, I graduated college 2 years ago, bro. It happens.
Hey, but AB, here, let me tell you a little bit of a story. So there was this kid, and this is going to come back around. There was this kid in high school that I played baseball with. He was an absolute dick to everybody. He called our dean of students a white trash cunt.
Shit!
Got away with it because his dad basically pays out the school, was one of the worst athletes I have ever met in my entire life, constantly taking pictures of himself squatting 450 pounds when he has these 2 chicken legs.
Lightweight.
He definitely just takes the pictures and then takes the weights off. It's obvious. He's at Planet Fitness. If he grunts, he's out of there.
Oh,
yeah. This is like headline right here.
This kid that I went to high school with, his name was Nico, out of all names, Nico. Just like the trashiest dick name you can think of. He's
Is this dude on Twitter? Because I want to tag him.
I know, right?
Do it. He plays at Seton Hall. He couldn't play at Seton Hall either. He's not a good athlete. He's probably their ace starter. I don't know. Anyways, he's Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown could do whatever he wants. He could take video of his haircut when his team's out on the field playing. He could do this. He could do that. He's going to get away with it. Now he's under Bill Belichick's system. Robert Kraft basically gets away with what he did. Maybe he's good. He didn't do it. It wasn't him. It wasn't him.
Oh my God, Mark, what do you got?
Let's just end it right there. This is the best episode.
I was gonna say I think you officially removed your rookie status after that.
Oh,
There's no more.
Slack that tag
just
on
drops
that.
To see you next Tuesday. Like it's nothing. Gotta love it. But no, back to the worst. I mean, who would have thought the beginning of the alphabet would be so terrible? This stupid. I've been so tired of seeing A, B. I'm over it. He's
nice dad joke, jackass.
Hey, you can't look like a B and be called Pa. Like I get called Pa by my friends.
Hey, Mark,
right?
when does a joke turn into a dad joke?
when it uses the alphabet.
Or when it hits a 7 out of 10.
Well, did you just say a dad joke, Jack? I missed it.
Yeah. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent.
Ah.
All right, Jack. All right, we're gonna remove you from this call. All right.
No, but yeah, AB. If this ends up being, I mean, these allegations are tough. You always want to side with the person that is claiming they got sexually assaulted. You never know. But with the emails that came out, with how he's just been acting, like one day he's on the Raiders, one day he hates the Raiders. Like he can't make up his mind. He's bipolar. He's got all these personalities. What's going on? Just a really shitty situation. I think the Patriots, this is kind of like I said, when Bill Belichick signed him with this, he figured, you know what, if he messes up, all you get to do is cut him. So it's just like, what's the loss here other than just signing him and he gets to get a cut? They already have, they just won a game 30-33 on Monday or Sunday night. So I don't think the Patriots care. I just think AB might have actually drew the line this time.
I look at it from the perspective that like what Mark said before, we don't know what actually happened. We always have to kind of lean towards the side of the victim. And there was a lot of other stuff that came out about like, failed investments on the person who was like, in trouble and all this other stuff. So unfortunately, it's just breaking now. It's hard to make an opinion on this right away. And we're going to have to wait a couple of days to see like all the details come out. But if Mike said like before, if the Patriots even smell any kind of controversy, AB's ass is axed so fast. And then where does he go from there? Is his career over? Is there like a team like Jacksonville going to snag him? Like,
well, no. If this is it, I feel like there's no way you can come back from this if it comes out as true. And did anybody notice when the Patriots signed him, it was all like, oh, I guess all the saga of AB's over. Like, this is the end of it. Like, dude, he just had one of the most insane runs of drama, and then you expected it just to be over. Like, this was the least surprising. Definitely a little more intensive news than I expected it to be.
This feels like less like AB's MO though. That's the thing though.
I don't think this is one of those things that AB would have. Like, I think a lot of it felt planned, and we can get to that about it was the Patriots that were figuring it out the whole time. But this seems way off the rails compared to like the helmet gate or the foot gate, and I mean all that seems controlled by AB. If AB plotted this one against himself, that's an all timer.
All right, let's not spend too much because I'm sure this is going to come full circle. So let's hit the next.
All right, let's swing back to where they don't get paid. College football week 2.
Not yet.
Yeah, don't.
All right, we're going to avoid talking about a certain game that occurred in Chapel Hill on Saturday night. That
Jesus, this is a short segment.
Yeah, no, it caused me to drop 6 Imperial IPAs and an entire thing of Chinese food. Basically, I was in a rough shape that game.
Wow, we're not talking about a Miami team that nobody cares about. Wow, that's a crucial problem to the
I mean, it's still more entertaining than your Mountaineers that are basically boring.
That's why there's no reason to talk about the Mountaineers.
All right, we got to talk about Jack's hat though because that game was great.
Fantastic, boys. They put up a fight. I'm not even angry. I knew they were going to lose going in.
Oh no, they're going to be a top 10 team this year. I'm not even going to doubt it.
We were talking about that. They'll contend with the Sooners all year long. And like you said, LSU is going to contend with Clemson. Those Tigers.
I think they're better than Alabama. I do.
Who LSU you're saying?
LSU will beat Alabama and will most likely win. If they play Clemson, they have a shot. It's like I said this to Jack before on Osho, sorry. Basically, I said, like, Clemson to me, there's always that, like, when you have a dynasty like Alabama, you're like, oh, it's Alabama. Like, it's hard to kind of see where for them to lose. With Clemson, it's the fact their defense can't really stop a good offense. Like, Texas A&M is an okay team, and keyword okay. Like, they're going to be, like, 7-8 wins. They're going to be a solid SEC team, maybe. The season's only going to tell. That division's brutal, but with Clemson, I'm not sold that they're going to just steamroll their way to a national title. Yeah, they can score, but they can't stop anybody. Half their defense is in the NFL already. And a team like LSU, who can now throw the damn football. The last time I think they could throw the football efficiently, Matt Flynn was their starting quarterback. We're going way back to 2008 when Glenn Dorsey was their defensive tackle and was like their top prospect. I think Patrick Peters was on that roster too. Basically, we're looking at an LSU team that I seriously think is in contention for a national title. Mark, you're like looking so concerned and so pissed
Or
off.
just LSU, and I love Coach O and Go Tigers. I love all of it. I was actually, as much as I don't like Texas being in the Big 12, I was like seeing the Big 12 do better. So as much as I wanted the Horns down, I was shocked when they got and they were getting beat to start. I didn't. This LSU air raid actually, I guess, is working, which is like the most. I don't know if I think Michigan needs to look at this a little bit and be like, wow, they're changing their ways. And look how it's working out. Harbaugh, I know he doesn't call plays anymore, but clearly nothing's working up there. Either way, back to LSU. I mean, you could easily say that, like, they're going to just make a run the SEC. But SEC at the top will always be – it's like if they beat Alabama, sure, but then they're going to have to face, like, Georgia in SEC championship, and then they could ruin it for them. And guess who sneaks right back into the freaking playoff? Alabama.
I don't trust Georgia's team is They're like a good top 10 team, but – if you're going to look at the tiers of the SEC right now, you have everybody else, Georgia, then jump about 10 feet, and then you got LSU and Alabama.
Yeah, all that matters is the SEC championship. That's it. One game.
I know.
So if LSU has a bad day and Joe Burrow...
The one game. But the thing is, if you give me that one game LSU, Georgia, I'm taking LSU.
I think that's just a very relative statement. We'll see as the year goes on.
Hey, listen, our whole motto of this damn company is be bold, stand out, and I'm being bold and standing out. I'm saying LSU might win that.
You're being recency biased and standing out.
No.
If Texas would have won that,
you
would have said LSU's trash.
Hey, be normal, fit in. That's the motto.
Don't be Nico.
You never want to be Nico. Nobody wants to be Nico.
Nico. Guys, don't be a J.
What's that?
Oh, jeez.
J Doug.
Oh.
I love how everyone collectively has put their hands on their heads and oh my god, Carter, if you can screenshot that.
You're frozen from what I'm seeing right now. It's just this big old freaking grin on your face.
Anyway.
Cut to black. Cut to black. It's over.
We have editors.
I mean, week 2 we saw Clemson dominate Texas A&M. I mean, any of you guys really want to touch on that game at all? Because this week in college football, besides Michigan almost losing to Army, that's the only other thing that really, like, stood
That's
out.
all I wanted to talk about was Michigan Army. But Texas A&M, when you spot off at the mouth early in the week, this is exactly what happens. It's not a game. Whatever, you know. I mean, this is typical. This is college football. Fuels the fire. You know, it is what it is. It'd be one thing to say that and come out. You know, nobody. Did anybody think, okay, that gave them an extra added incentive to win the game? No, Texas A&M was not winning that game. No. There was nothing. But
especially after last year's battle, Clemson was come out there and whoop them.
So, but that to me, but on the other hand, you're talking Army, Michigan. You got your kicker for Army never kicked a collegiate football or a field goal ever in his life, and he's gonna line up for the game-winning shot. We all knew how this was gonna end, but somebody deep down was thinking, okay, this is how it's gonna go. Harbaugh's on his last leg. Me being a Buckeye fan, it pains me because I want Michigan to be good for the conference, for the rivalry. And don't get me wrong, they're a good team, but for the past 5-6 years, they've not been the same team. It has not been relevant. Of course, this would be the year where new coach for Ohio State, Ryan Day, he's not going to run the table, but, where we go in and we get knocked off and Michigan's a subpar team. To me, it's easy for me to sit here and shit on Michigan, but how is that game when Army, like Georgia Tech, they've got, 6 total plays in their offense?
It's all triple option and a couple,
and it's
2 passes.
And I'm not saying, I can't sit here and tell you as a college athlete, what it's like, but you game plan for it all week, and you're literally going into, a shootout like that. And to me, that game weighs more than LSU, Texas, that I think LSU, Texas is what we expect it to be. I think it was more down to the wire than Most of us thought. I thought, it would be a good game at least till half, and then college football, it seems like after half they separate themselves. But it was a good look at Jack. But it looks like they went down to it where Michigan, Army, maybe a few brats here and there would have said, "Oh yeah, Army's going to pull one out." But this is Appalachian State. This is University of Toledo versus Michigan. Michigan runs into one of these a year.
They caught it by this much. And I you know what? Usually on like games like this, if it's not a team either in the ACC or it's not like a big get, like Ohio State versus Michigan, or or Wisconsin versus Nebraska, like big names going at each other, I really don't pay much attention to it. But then I saw on ESPN up there like Michigan and Ohio State, Michigan and not Ohio State, Michigan and Army going to overtime, and I saw Mike's tweet, and I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta watch this." So I'm literally sitting in my room doing a bunch of chores, and I have it on my phone on the Watch ESPN app.
Hold up, you still do chores?
Like cleaning my own room, cleaning my own room.
He just does normal things around the house, but they're chores.
Yeah. Cleaning my own room, doing my own laundry, cleaning my
when
dishes.
you wash your mom's underwear, do you go the cheetah?
And this is the day that Jerry
quit
quit belly up. Oh my god. No, but I was watching the game.
He doesn't even want to look.
You can just see
if there's ever a time I want to slug my boss, it's right now.
Remember, you gotta be this.
All right, yeah, I know. But
anyways, what are we talking about?
And it was pulling so hard for Army to pull this off. I always root for anarchy and an upset like this.
Those are always the games that you tune into and you get so into it and you so badly want the underdog to win.
And they just
even if you watch the last 10 minutes of the game.
I watched the literally overtime and double overtime. That's about it. But I enjoyed every second of it. It was great. It was great entertainment.
That was great.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, moving
college
on.
football's still lame until about week 4 or 5. So we're gonna switch to the NFL now. Week 1 had a ton of headlines. Mark, why are you rolling your eyes already?
I'm not rolling my eyes, but Mike, one thing quick about Michigan, what you just said about them. Yeah, Harbaugh, it's definitely been weird, but this team has been absolutely not relevant until this Harbaugh era. I mean, Brady Hoke,
Rich Rod,
they were even worse.
I think Rich Rod had more.
No,
Rich Rod just had name recognition for what he did at West Virginia.
That's
was
what
no
Harbaugh
actual
had.
decent
What
content.
Harbaugh
It was
done?
just him losing by 30 to every team.
Harbaugh's supposed to be the QB whisperer, and the dude can't recruit a QB to save his life.
I mean, yeah, Kaepernick's also ruined his life a little bit, but because Kaepernick was insanely good for Harbaugh. But I don't know. I just think I don't know what they want instead of him there, other than obviously he hasn't get the big wins. I just don't think they should just push away from him, even though Army did the same thing to Oklahoma last year, and I hate that stupid argument, but the same thing happened and nobody talked about it.
It's a triple option team. It always messes with every team they play. You see with Georgia Tech.
These games, Georgia Tech does it all the time. I mean,
unless you have a good pass.
It's like when the Wildcat first came out, nobody could stop
it messes with teams.
But the triple option, nobody's figured it out for how many years.
What I noticed, because being in my team plays in the ACC, so back when Georgia Tech ran that triple option.
Why aren't we talking about that?
Basically triple option teams throw now that college football. Oh, screw off, Mike.
What sport are we talking about? What team are we talking about?
No, I'm talking about my Hurricanes playing in the ACC.
I know. I'm just kidding. We can go down a list though. We did this one time. Jared's sports teams just posted on social media.
Yeah,
just to see the reaction.
All over the country.
Talk about clickbait. Literally MLB Diamondbacks, NBA Timberwolves, the Eagles, Penguins. That's an article in itself.
All right, but listen, one thing I've been watching Georgia Tech for the last couple of years is basically that teams that are so used to spread offense, spread everything out, throw the ball down the field, a triple option is Stone Age shit to them. They don't know what the hell's going on. They're wait, why did they hand the ball off to the fullback? Wait, he pulled it out? The hell's going on? And that's why I think a lot of these Power 5 teams that are used to spread and shot, throw the ball down the field, they're not used to this. That's why I think a lot like Oklahoma last year, Michigan this year, Georgia Tech always giving teams trouble until they changed over coaches. The triple option, it's just the system itself. It gives people trouble. That was my point.
NFL, moving on.
All right. I quit. NFL Week 1, you know, we could go on about every single damn game, but we got to start off with the first one. Our unofficial mascot throwing 3 picks this week against the Titans. Mike, Browns, what happened, man?
I'm not even a Browns fan.
I
but
know
that was
you're
a
not.
letdown.
I'm just saying you live
You
in
know
a
what?
so, like,
My Sunday was so perfect. Well, set up so perfect. I'm a Lions fan, as you all know, and now I'm pulling hard for the Browns because on paper it's great. So I'm like, Browns start the season against Titans. This is going to be electric. So I watched that shit show, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, we're going to watch the Lions. There's no way you can screw this up. Who the hell am I to say the Lions aren't going to screw this up? The fourth quarter rolls around. We quickly go from the Browns to the Lions, and this is like I can't even make this shit up. Like the amount of, but the thing is
So that's pretty much how your day went, Mike.
Yeah,
Your
literally,
day went
that's
so well,
exactly
and the lights just
I
turned
just
off.
said, okay, the game was on. I turn it off. We're up 26-3 or something like that. I go upstairs and I'm putting my kid to bed or whatever, or not even that. I don't even know. I'm talking to my wife, and I go downstairs, turn on TV, getting ready for Sunday night game, and the Lions are in overtime. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, dude, you're kidding me. Like, as much as I want Patricia to be good, and I don't know what to think. Like, Kyler Murray, we made him look so suspect the first 3 quarters, and all of a sudden the fourth quarter he just lights us up and makes it, so. But back to the Browns. I've said it 100 times. I'll say it again. No matter what happens with the Browns, it's gonna be electric to watch. The first game, we're talking about the Browns getting beat up. Baker having a bad game. That's Obi. Then now all of a sudden we're talking about
are you kidding?
OBJ flexing with a 375K watch or whatever. It is whatever. Honestly, watching that game, you see the talent that they have. That team in general. They didn't even get Chubb really running. It was more of a passing game because they were down. But really, that's a huge step up from the Thursday night game where we watched that shit show of Trubisky.
Worst quarterback in the division.
That was like watching the Philly-Chicago game all over because Green Bay essentially dropped 2-3 picks that game, and Trubisky would have had even worse. But either way, I'm kind of all over the place right now. We're talking NFL.
You're like me with ADHD.
No, I'm not taking my meds, but either way, I'm all over the place. My week of football started off Thursday as a shit show. Sunday morning, I was pumped. Sunday evening, I was like, yeah, be kidding me. And then I haven't even touched yesterday about, I think, honestly, the Texans-Saints game. That was a great game. Couldn't believe the outcome. But without going all over and ending up where, who knows where it's going to take me, I'll send it over. Jared trying to flex. Look at you, man. Those 18-inch pythons. Oh, my God, yeah. 5'9", 280 guys. Or ladies out there, anybody?
All right, 5'11", 225. Don't
okay, I'm sorry. Anyways, that's a plug for you.
Short guys don't
I'm all over the place.
Right,
so,
all right.
so
Mark,
anyway. Where you at? Sorry.
Mark.
I'll let Jack go.
Oh, look at that. Pass the torch.
Wow.
I don't want him to be sitting there and the lights go off again. We need him to be moving around with the light.
Let's bring the energy up a little bit. How about them Dallas Cowboys?
Oh,
my Lord.
I take that back completely. I
Jack,
cancel
that's
every. You know what? Turn the lights off.
Passes makes history. Ezekiel Elliott with his first score of the year
against the high school defense.
against the New York Giants, who belong in the XFL at this point. But hey, we'll take the victory. Just like how you guys erased a 20-3 deficit against the Washington Redskins.
In one quarter, by the way.
I mean, you could have even. I told you on the O show earlier. My buddy's a Redskins fan. They're up 20-3 at the half. He's like, "There's still 30 minutes left. We're gonna lose this game."
It was 20-0, by the way. It wasn't 20-3.
I think
17-0,
after
by the way.
this week, I think the New York Giants, Washington Redskins, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they should have been the first one on that list, all belong in the XFL.
Steelers are getting exiled.
Full take. So, honestly,
Listen, that can't score.
what was the other league? The
AFL.
AAF.
Yeah.
That Mark gave you shit for
the
supporting.
NFL every year should have been demoted to that league, and the champions of the AAF should have been promoted to the NFL.
What is this? European soccer now? Come on,
Dude,
man.
literally, it should be a thing, though.
That
Tanking
probably
wouldn't
would have
exist.
saved their entire.
I thought I was on
Then
it.
if that happened, then the Browns wouldn't be in this league anymore.
Would've
Hey,
done
they
them a
would
favor
have
on
won a
Sunday.
ton of AFF championships. Let me tell you.
Yo,
But no, the Steelers is a heck of a take there. I mean, they just got absolutely whooped. Their offense looks like shit without AB.
and
Might
Le'Veon.
play the ball again, and Le'Veon. But the Cowboys, that's the best thing that could have happened for the Eagles is to have the Cowboys have a nice victory. Dak get paid $50 million a year. Go ahead, give him the money. I hope you do, because I want to play against him every year until I remember.
Derek Barnett's his daddy.
Either way, so who are we going to talk? Oh, let's talk about the Lions. You know, you brought it up, Mike. And
I was going to touch on this, the tweet that you had earlier about, hey, we made the undefeated banner. That's all that matters.
you're also extremely lucky that the worst, maybe one of the worst quarterbacks in the division now, threw away the game. Absolutely threw away the game.
We are
had
the
that
worst
pick
quarterback
six.
in the league.
He's so like Mark. You gotta hide your hating on Stafford for at least
It
20
is
minutes.
Dude, you cannot be a
Lucas
veteran quarterback
rolled
and
off
throw
into the
that
sunset.
pass. He had that.
At least he's still playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at most
He
fourth
almost-
quarter comebacks in the past 4 or 5 years.
True, by the way.
So did Tony Romo. I mean, Tony Romo.
Yeah, that was 10
Tony
years
Romo
ago.
has the health
I
of
said
like
5.
Andrew Luck, though.
And he wears Skechers.
Either way, if that would have happened, I might have been the happiest human being just watching that Arizona Cardinals team with the worst possible three quarters just right off into the sunset with the easiest pick six. And also Amendola, what was that? 2 days plays before with the running and bounce. Either way, that game was wild. Texans got screwed because
Oh, isn't
they're-
that funny? Coming from the Saints last year.
Well, the Saints, I was just laughing the whole end of that game because the Saints, that roughing the kicker was one of the most hilarious calls, almost rewinded to last year. Like, the refs had the audacity to make that call that everyone's saying today is not roughing the kicker because both his feet were down. Either way, I was like, this can't be actually happening. He's going to make this field goal. Saints are going to lose. And then Drew Brees just does Drew Brees things. And I don't know what the defender was doing.
I don't know
He-
how you
Oh,
play
no. It was Romeo Cromwell. Because Booger McFarland, as much as Mark knows how much I hated that little Boogermobile crap on the sideline, basically,
Boogermobile.
the guy actually
I
knows
want
what
to
he's
get an
talking
image
about.
for that.
He called before the damn snap. Oh, they're two off. The Saints need 7 yards. They got to pull their guys up. They got to call timeout. Little square out with Ted Ginn. Completion, field goal. Game over. I was like,
Yeah, but he's the only one that was that far out. Like, the rest of the guys weren't as far out as him. They talked about that on NFL Live today. That one dude, for some reason, just camped so far back. And it just, I mean, I'm sure Romeo, like, they definitely, if they had a timeout, I don't even know at the time if they did. They should have used it. And then, I mean, either way, 58-yard field goal, the Saints got what they wanted. Now, if they wear refs jerseys now, they need to get over themselves. But it was a wild night. And who would have thought the Raiders-Broncos would end up being a decent one, too, last night, too. So.
yo, the Raiders, I'm not going to say they're going
Oh,
to
do not.
No.
They beat the Broncos.
I know. But listen, I'm saying the Raiders are going to be like a 7-9, 8-8 team. They're going to be fun to watch. They're going to win a couple games they shouldn't win. And they're like 4 or 5 pieces away from being a decent team. But the thing is, like,
It's such a soft take.
oh my God, get the hell out of here.
They could go
Our
5-11. You'll be like,
suck.
see, it was only 3 games off.
No, listen, the Raiders, like, Josh Jacobs may win Offensive Rookie of the Year. The kid can ball. And the thing is, Derek Carr didn't look like he missed Antonio Brown that much last night. Yes,
We never
against the
knew when he was
Broncos.
with Antonio Brown.
Did you see what AB tweeted? Bumper cars when David Carr came out and started talking shit about him. Just side note, this is great.
Somehow.
Either way, Matt Stafford's the best quarterback in that division, but whatever. Jack, what you got to
Good
say?
luck.
You say Matt Stafford was the
He's not
best
even in that
quarterback
division.
in a division that has Aaron Rodgers and Mitch Trubisky and
Okay, oh, Jackie boy. Yeah, I know you're a rookie here. Stop with the Mitch Trubisky bullshit.
that was clearly intended to piss off Jared. Just
I know, because
there.
basically
Right.
Jack.
In Kirk, I
Jack's
stole
better
your money,
quarterback than Mitch
Cousins.
Trubisky.
No, you mean
yeah.
Kirk Cousins dance, baby.
Oh yeah,
I don't think
robbed-
Kirk Cousins now
Oh,
he's not in the
I
Redskins.
robbed the state of Minnesota of $85 million dance. Okay, got it.
Robbed
You
your
gotta
line.
watch out,
Hey,
dude. Vikings
here
made
we come,
Atlanta
baby.
Vikings made Atlanta look like nothing, and Kirk Cousins threw the ball 10 times.
I know. That tells
Which
you
is
all
probably
you
why
need.
they made it look.
Team. Mark, you and me could play center and still won that game for them.
Disagree completely, but carry on.
You know that there is no reason the Falcons look defeated by halftime.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I get what you're saying. I get the exaggeration, but yeah, I don't know. Kirk Cousins isn't as bad as I'm telling you, dude. Matt Stafford, for some reason, gets this whole thing about him. I don't get it. I don't get it.
You just
It's
hate
with
on
you.
because I said that he's not as good as Andrew. He's better than Andrew Luck, and you just hate on it so hard, and that's what
But
drives
it's like there's no logical reason behind it.
you. It came out of my brain. That's the only logic you need.
If
There's
anything,
no logical reason that you hate on him.
there's no logical
all.
reason why he should get like a. There's no argument for Stafford anymore. Like there's no argument to make him like, oh wow, they haven't been like as soon as he lost Calvin, sure, that's when he started to stink and the Lions were terrible and
He made the playoffs.
I think he's
twice
been
after
better since Calvin's
Calvin
gone.
retired.
well, the Lions haven't.
The Lions made the playoffs after Calvin retired.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, we got cheated out of a win too against Dallas.
Yeah,
That's bullshit, but
Eh, fuck you
Either
gonna
way,
all right. Yeah, we're talking. We're gonna get Mark on a rant about how his love affair with Andrew Luck is gonna come back.
no, it's more now just Matt Stafford's the most overappreciated human being in the
God,
but
shut
I think he's
up.
so
Jesus
under. I
Christ.
can
All
go
right.
on forever.
Most
Even being a Lions
impressed
fan, I think he's so
team. I know.
underappreciated.
Round table.
Well, if anything, Mike, you should have no reason to appreciate him. He's made you guys go from 0-16 to just relevant, I guess, a little bit.
I think he's the essential reason. Outside, there's nothing around him. What star on offense do you have?
Calvin
I don't know.
Johnson.
Maybe he can't bring stars out of people.
That one doesn't work.
He
Uh,
made Daniel
what is-
Jones
Eric
in a
Kenny
Ebron.
rookie.
Galladay, Reverend.
We just set the record with a rookie tight end.
And yeah,
What happened when Eric Ebron was there? He did nothing. What did Andrew Luck do with him? Made him
Ebron
amazing.
had stone hands.
Yeah, but Andrew Luck made him look good.
yeah, because their offenses are different.
Because Andrew Luck throws like a
He
pussy.
also Jim Caldwell's the
He
head
doesn't
coach.
throw football anymore.
Jim Caldwell was the head
can't.
coach when Ebron was there. By the way, let's just before you blame Stafford, let's blame the head coach of the Lions. Caldwell maybe wasn't the best for utilizing tight ends over his entire length of his career, but all right, you know what? We're done with this conversation.
I feel like last episode
I'm
was
gonna-
the worst episode ever. I think we're on par.
Oh my god, no! Well, we had Zach Mack hammering margaritas literally on.
And Blaine has no clue what's going on.
We should just ban. It's like we should have like a 2-minute timeout if I talk about like Stafford or Luck. If Jared
Well,
talks
you
about
start-
Miami.
Oh, I don't know, but
Anyways, I don't know where we're at.
all right, we're
Switch
at
the topic.
all right.
That was our
round table-
NFL,
All right, hey,
recap.
all right, back on it, boys. Round table time. Who is the most impressive team in the NFL? Mark, you're going last because you suck. Jack, you're first.
Well, how can you
The
disagree with
humidifier's
the fact
going
that
off.
the New England Patriots just prove that they're the favorites in the AFC yet again?
All right,
I mean,
let me rephrase it.
right-
Most impressive
Oh,
team
there he
besides
is,
New
kicking
England.
me off right away. My turn.
I mean, it's a fair answer.
It is a fair answer. I'm just saying that we all are going to agree with New England, so let's rephrase it quick because Mike kind of could have made this a little more loaded. Most impressive team besides New England.
You can pitch it however you want, dummy.
then it's the Chiefs. I mean, it's clear as day. It's going to be Pats Chiefs in the AFC title game come January.
Fair enough.
There's really no denying. Like, what do you want me to say? The Steelers? Steelers are going to go 9-7, and
What am I going to say? The Texans who blew that game against Houston against New Orleans last night?
Hey, I'm not going to try to steal it real quick, but the Texans are on my list for most impressive, even though they lost. Because with that Pat's job of
could go 14-2 and then lose in the first round of the playoffs anyway.
exactly, but I mean, with the Pat's job of 3 starters on that team that have been there for not even a full week. But yeah,
He's got a point.
Unfortunately,
The problem is with that
Minnesota
is that, like you said, the line was there. Have been like 3 of them just got thrown in there, but if Watson gets hit like that every freaking week, man.
Oh, dude, Watson's notorious for that. The past couple of years, it's miserable.
And that one he slammed his head on in the 4th and 1 we dove in the end zone, which is a great play, ballsy, but I mean, yeah, like Jack said though, 14-2 is literally something that could happen, and they'll not score a point in the first round of playoffs.
Exactly.
Not score a point.
All right, Mark, who's your most impressive team?
It's tough. I could say the Arizona Cardinals.
No. How about Indy?
I actually was thinking Indy, but I don't know. The Chargers, I'm trying to think of being something a little...
Oakland Raiders.
Oakland Raiders.
How about them Denver Broncos?
No, I'm going to let you go, Jared, because I want to come up with something a little more...
Because I've had all day to think about this.
He's petty as
I kind of was going to go with the Texans.
All right.
Oh, then you shit on my idea.
All right. My most impressive team is the Baltimore Ravens. Now, yes, they did play the Miami Dolphins, the JV team, formerly known as the Miami
Which everybody after that game wanted immediate trades. How can you even... That's like JV.
Especially,
but listen. That run game with Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, like that whole system, they were telling us all offseason how they were going to run the football constantly. And then they're just chucking shots down the field. I am loving the new
Hollywood
Lamar Jackson. You know what? They're not going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to say that right now because they got to run through either New England or KC or possibly Houston. But here's the thing, though. That team's impressive. Like, a year or two more, we're talking about Lamar Jackson being an MVP candidate and that Ravens team being very dangerous. I love this team. I think they're going to win the NFC North because Pittsburgh looks like a JV squad, as Jack so eloquently put before. The Browns can't block anybody, and the 100+ yards of penalty yardage, like, come on, that's like some like ridiculous crap.
How did we not even talk about Greg Robinson? How he's even in the league anymore? He got cut from the Lions. Now he's a starter for the Browns. He gets ejected for kicking somebody in the head. Like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like as a Browns fan, you're never surprised. As a Lions fan, you're never surprised. And unfortunately, it follows me my entire life, so whatever.
But yes, that is my most impressive team.
And then I couldn't even be because of Ohio, I couldn't even be a Cincinnati fan. Like, I'm just doomed.
All right, Mark, who's your most impressive team?
So I was going to go, be the opposite. Be like, oh, the Bucs were impressive because how bad they were. And Jameis Winston officially... I mean, their defense kind of was...
IQ of a potato?
I've been freaking Jameis. I've been trying to stick up for him. I think this is it.
You can't throw
all these pick sixes. I think I'm officially. I think Bruce Arians after that game.
I have finally won.
You say you win things that you don't even know what the argument was. Other than that,
and the entire time we've done a podcast together, that Jameis Winston is trash, and you're trying to defend him, and it's another argument I win.
You know what? I have small hands too. Jameis Winston has small hands. Maybe I felt for him, okay? Either way, but the most impressive team is the team that absolutely whooped the Browns, the Titans. A team that's offense has been trash. Mariota was on the hot seat, which I mean,
he wasn't going to be. Who knows if he was going to be a starter?
So, and for him to throw 3 touchdowns in Cleveland with all the hype around that. Yeah, Derrick Henry just going off. Vrabel just being the house that he is. I don't know. I don't know if that was a good thing for the Titans because now they're going to think they're good and then they're just going to walk out and not actually be that good. It's just going to be hyped up for the first game, but they impressed me week 1.
Question for y'all. Do you think the Titans have a shot winning the AFC South?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you're talking 14-2 with the Texans or whatever, but I don't know.
That's tight. The thing is about if Mariota plays even 65 to 70% of what he did on Sunday, that's a 10-6, 11-5 team. That's a deep team. It always has been. So I don't know. I mean, I think they have a shot. It all depends if Houston can protect Deshaun Watson to me.
They got the spoilers now because now that Foles is out, this Gardner Minshew guy played pretty well. And the stash from Washington State.
He set the rookie record for passing.
He was what, 22
completion percentage? Yeah.
Yeah, 80.
I knew he was a Mike Leach guy. That guy's gonna start chucking the rock to the moon.
But I feel like them and now the Colts, who we don't even know if that was like, oh wow, they competed, or it was like, oh wow, like the Chargers are good and they were pretty good too. So I feel like that division's just gonna beat each other up. I think it's just gonna be another 10-6 team that comes out of it. Nobody else, the other team doesn't make the wild card. It's gonna be whoever wins that division is gonna lose in the first round. Either way.
I feel like that division is a lot like the NFC North.
I
think it's a lot like that.
I think the Texans, once again, clear favorites to win that division. They won't do shit in the playoffs, but the Titans have a very big chance at winning a wild card. I don't think there's that many teams that are going to be running away with those 2 wild card spots. I don't think there's going to be any teams that are going to go 11-5 and win a wild card. It's going to come down to 9-7, maybe even 8-8 this year. There's not too many great teams on either side in the NFC or the AFC for those 2 wild card spots.
There's like the 3 or 4 elite team, the 2 or 3 elite teams in every in the AFC and NFC, and then you have a bunch of teams just duking it out with each other to get like the last 4 spots. And I think that's what's going to come down to. So I completely agree with Jack here.
And that's why it's an amazing 17-week season, because last year, I mean, I feel like we were like, oh, Vikings, Saints, Eagles, and then that didn't happen. So you never know.
There we go.
Man,
all right.
41 minutes in, and this is all you guys got, huh?
Hold on. What was the actual last...
we got 2 more things. We talk about Jerry Rice's comments about the AB conspiracy, and we have a roundtable. So
I thought that's what we just did. Sound off roundtable. It's all the same name.
No, the roundtable.
I was confused too. I was like, that wasn't the roundtable.
I had to wrangle you guys in because the 2 of you were duking it out about Matthew Stafford the last 5 minutes. Usually it's me and Mark screaming at each other about Stafford, but I wasn't even trying to get this right. He's he's clearly angry about something else in his life, so he was going to take it on Stafford.
He said he had small hands, whatever. You should be happy about that. It makes everything look bigger.
Big hands, baby.
Anyways, Jared, you got the comments, or you want to?
I will let you guys handle this because I didn't even get to see his comments today, so I will fully admit it right there.
Jerry Rice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, you want to touch on it?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised.
It doesn't have to be
Rice
word for word, whatever.
Yeah, the comments, I don't have them in front of me, but I know they were along the lines of like the AB really wanted to go to Oakland and was looking forward to it, and it was just along the lines of he wanted to do that, and to tell Jerry Rice that he said, and for him to not even show a little bit that he wanted to be in Oakland.
Jerry Rice just pretty much said he lied to him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, I trust a man's word, and I can't trust that man now. Either way, I think it was, and I think he ended it with like that you thought this was part of a planned situation.
I actually
now the league.
Jack, should I tell him what I told you about Bill Romanowski today or what?
Oh, dude, don't tell him that. That's like top secret. Yeah, tell him.
Okay, so basically, I was listening to me and my boy Cowherd today, and basically, Bill Romanowski.
Telling them, I can't believe it.
Yeah, speak it out.
Got my Diamondbacks hat on, just support you in case this goes.
Oh shit!
All right, Romanowski was talking to Cowherd, and he said basically AB was all about being on the Raiders, but it turned into a him versus Mayock situation where he felt like Carl was behind him, and he thought that Gruden was behind him, but basically, yes, and Mark's shot. No shit, it was him versus Mayock. But even before the whole shit about him calling him a cracker and everything, he always felt like Mayock was against it from the get-go. And that's, I think, what eventually was the reason he was like, I demand release, and had the greatest video time. Mama, I'm free! But
did you? I don't know if you guys, how far into Twitter you are, but did you see Larry Johnson's comments on that?
Wow, that's a deep from the past.
Holy dude, that's what I came
Chiefs Larry Johnson?
Yes.
Larry Johnson pretty much called him like an Uncle Tom, essentially saying that you don't have a film crew following you around. You don't get the news on your phone that you've been released. He goes, trust me, I know Larry Johnson's been released. But essentially just saying that this is all for show. But the one thing that is funny, which I'm sure you guys saw too, is that video not the one you're talking about, Jared, but the one where AB was talking about Gruden on the phone. From what I've heard is Gruden was told this was getting released about an hour before it was being released, and Gruden loved every part of it. He said, "I love it. Release it." Where he's talking, where it says, "Hey, coach, this is AB, blah, blah, blah." And Gruden's like, "What the hell's going on with you?" I guess before that was released, Gruden signed off on it, said, "Great, I love it, everything about it." So to me, what we're talking about, it kind of rolls into the conspiracy, whatever. I think the Patriots are wrapped up in conspiracies one way or another. This is why it goes full circle depending on what happens with AB this year, as far as the allegations and stuff like that. But the Patriots seem like that's a team where you're on your last leg. You go and you're either revitalized or you go to die and we'll never hear about you again, because you got Randy Moss, who had one of the greatest careers, one of the greatest seasons ever with Tom Brady. You got Reggie Wayne, who went there and said it was too hard of a practice and stuff like that. Quit. You never heard of him again. So I know we talked about it earlier. AB, depending on what happens, the Patriots are full of allegations, full of controversy, whether you like them or not. But I do agree that this is kind of going to be the end of the line, and I don't even know what the hell we're talking about anymore. So I just stop talking.
I think we should just put together the AB thing to bed and just do a round table and call this a day, man.
I am kind of just sick of talking about it. That's why I'm just
all right.
I just feel
so,
like beating to the bush.
Jack, for what round table is we'll go around the circle. You have a little small topic, like 30 seconds to a minute and a half.
It can be random. It can be life. It can be
plugging your show at worst case, like whatever you want.
Worst case, that's the worst case scenario.
I mean, it is your show. And my Diamondbacks lost to the Mets again, motherfucker.
Yeah, this will be a part of mine. Yankees were up 8-0 tonight. It was looking good. Felt good about coming on this show. I just got the notification that they lost to the Tigers 12-11. And I just want to say this.
It's a beautiful
The Yankees pulled a total Nico tonight. AP has pulled a Nico. The Yankees pulled a Nico. Don't be a Nico.
Don't. Put it on a shirt.
You guys lost like a single-A professional team. But whatever.
They belong in the XFL. Hell, Tigers, come on.
You get the XFL.
They
should the XFL.
It would be an offensive line versus a guy with a bunch of bats and gloves, and I don't even think Vince McMahon would care.
Miguel Cabrera is like the next Bobby Bonilla. He's going to be getting paid for the next 20 years.
Yeah, all right. Mark, what do you got for last comments?
It's just that with this whole thing, we're not talking about AB anymore, but how the Patriots always find a way to, you feel like everything's planned. It's always been plotted from the long. And I said it in our group chat, the Belly Up group chat, and Jackson was like, there's no way. But Tom Brady.
Now all of a sudden, did you see what he said? Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. What was that?
He's like, yeah. Anyways.
Okay. But no, it's the poor Josh Rosen's not going to be the Dolphins quarterback next year. They're going to lose every game probably, or close to it. Either Tua is going to be there, Justin Herbert's going to be there. That just means Josh Rosen, who's replacing Jameis, Jameis is leaving. Josh Rosen is inserting into my new quarterback that's going to be the one that has everyone says sucks, but he's not actually terrible. And somehow he's going to get released, and he's going to be sitting in the free agent world, and Bill Belichick's going to be like, wow, this guy's actually really good. Have him sit 2 years behind Tom Brady as he finally, I don't know when these 2 years are going to be.
He'll be in the league for 10 years by the time he starts.
Yeah, well then Josh Rosen shut out of luck because his only hope is Bill Belichick. But that's my little weird. Josh Rosen is going to be the successor of Tom Brady. Put it in paper, put it in pen, put it where you need to, because it's happening.
That was about 37 seconds.
Mike, what do you got?
Here's Jackson's response to the AB news. Everyone's throwing it in the group chat, and he wrote, I remind you, for the people that don't know, this is the most positive, or the dude can debate anything Boston and make it like, whatever. And I think he's like 18, 19.
He's so pro Boston, it's a little annoying.
All he wrote was this, ... not good. That's what he wrote about the
Wow.
whole thing.
Jackson has been defeated.
But either way,
AB has defeated not only Mike Mayock, he's also defeated Jackson.
You kidding me? I wonder if the Raiders are happy that this happened.
They gotta be. And the Steelers,
You
how
know, are they?
much?
Or it would have been like perfect. Now we can definitely cut him.
I mean,
either
it's
way.
like perfect timing. Like they almost like made off. So it's like the day after he signed. It's like, oh shit, he's in trouble. And we even talk about Demaryius Thomas going to the Jets. I love that move, by the way.
I do too, and I got criticized for it. I said, "Are you kidding
Because
me?"
it's freaking Jets.
But-
It can spin anything Boston Pro.
But the thing is on the flip side, New England's the only team that can release somebody, re-pick them back up, and then trade them. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
Well, like I said, though, GT only got picked up because they had no receivers at the time. Josh Gordon came back. Edelman's
now they're
healthy.
loaded.
Yeah.
But now that AB might be out, like they may be. I don't know.
Dude, DT got a healthy scratch that game. He's still not 100% out from an Achilles. So.
Yeah, if the Washington Redskins didn't learn anything about healthy scratch and AP,
I picked him up in fantasy because now Darius Geis is out for at least 2 or 3 weeks. But my last call, I just want to give a quick shout out to.
so we got skipped. It's all right.
Wait, who got?
No, go ahead.
I thought
Go
that was
ahead.
your shout out. I thought it was your thing.
Yeah, what? I don't even know. Anyways, go.
Talk, Mike. Come on, you big baby.
I just wanted to plug my great podcast, What's Up Belly Up. I'm probably one of the best podcasts on the Belly Up Network. Didn't need to go to school for it. Every time I talk, Jag, dude, it's straight.
It's just so funny. It puts the
Best
light down.
podcaster.
Yes, but anyways, yeah, to shed some light on it, I've really worked hard at my craft. I've got some big names, bigger than pretty much anybody on our network outside of Jack. Jack hustles. He's up and coming.
Christ.
He does a lot.
Jack never.
But I just feel like my shoulders are broad. I just want to pass the torch to somebody else. So just check it out. What's Up Belly Up. The first few episodes were with a bunch of clowns that worked with us, and now we're getting into bigger things as far as NASCAR, NFL, ESPN. We're getting big time, where we're really kind of leaving the rest of these shows in the dust. We may cut them soon, so I'm just check out
Or
my
you just leave
podcast.
them. You just leave them.
iTunes. I don't record every week because I don't want everybody to get down. But I'm doing big things by myself. The company's on my back, so we're doing what we can do. But if anybody has anything to say, I love. I mean, all three of you guys have been on my shows, and actually, to tell you the truth, I don't know in which order, but they were all three of the longest shows that I've ever had with all three of you guys, and I think you guys all kind of followed each other. I think Mark and I were talking. That's when we were like waiting like little kids to break the 10,000 follower mark. We'd go to like 10,001, then we go to like 9,999 and be like, oh shit, as we're like recording. And then I think Jared actually followed Jack, and Jack gave a little shit talk. So either way, that really propelled me to stardom, next level. I'm glad I'm where I'm at. I couldn't. It really just comes down to thanking you guys. So I appreciate it.
All right, give his show like a negative 5 stars.
Yes, dude.
Mike, you
I've
do all
already
that
got
by yourself?
random anonymous ones on iTunes, which I don't care. I'm not for the ratings. I'm the horrible host. I don't know how I land people. People just must feel sorry for me because at the end,
How
it was like,
started with him just being like the cockiest bastard.
oh,
out of
we're
the
still
entire
recording.
round
All
table.
right, yeah,
Just
we're still
I'm a
recording.
terrible
so
host. I don't even know why I host this thing.
I'll just sit in my
I was
office
saying.
and collect my check.
I'm just gonna sit on the toilet for the next hour and a half.
There's Ohio State flag behind him. All right.
I'm
So,
getting
I-
bed sores.
My last call is actually a quick shout out to my guest on my first ever Sunday special, like long form conversation with former Miami Heat broadcaster and assistant coach Tony Fiorentino. I had a blast talking to this guy. He was telling me all these great stories about inside the Miami Heat organization. He was telling me some great Pat Riley stories. I'm not going to spoil too much. All I'm going to say is the whole development of LeBron's post-up game, that was Eric Spoelstra. That was what Spoelstra told him, like, you can't just keep cutting to the basket. Our offense won't work that way. He says to LeBron, like, you need to start posting up. Bosh starts shooting threes. It was a really great interview. I had a blast doing it. Check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify. And also, shout out to our editor-in-chief, Penny, for hooking up that interview because it was a great time. I enjoyed it a lot. That's all I got.
All right. Well, I guess we're wrapping up the show to the corner booth, Jared and formerly Mark. I don't know where.
He's still there. He just hides in the shadows.
I think he's still
Is
outside of editing. He does everything for that show. So and then Jack with the O Show, and you still doing the 50-50? I know Barkley and those guys are helping it.
Hey,
Either way,
wait until tomorrow.
looking forward to it. There we go. And again, like I said, my show, What's Up Belly, the best show on the podcast. Check it out, you guys.
Best show on the podcast?
On the podcast network. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have a network.
Score
That's
on
how big we are.
He never stumbles in his interviews, though.
No. I'm usually pretty straightforward. I've had a few too many
Just
Busch
stay
Lights.
back away.
Or Natty.
Wait.
Wait, hold on. Dang, I'm wrong. These are Natty Seltzers. My bad. Get your Natty Seltzers. They're refreshing.
He's trying to plug it.
So that was the worst plug ever. But either way, my podcast is way better than that. So, but to Design Tree, Statement Games, the usual suspects.
John
come
says,
on.
what
Yes,
up?
give me your little plug, flex. You just need a Design Trees tattoo right here. Whatever. Jeez, my God, those are ladies and gentlemen. Whatever. What are you ladies and gentlemen? You take both.
He called my guest today fat, ladies and gentlemen.
I stuttered. I said, what?
I was gracious enough to invite you on my show, and you pissed me off right off the bat again.
You should have known going into that one.
Some bets to me. That's why.
Either way, these shows get off the rails really fast. So for Belly Up, Sound Off, and everybody here, appreciate the O Show, Corner Booth, Mark's Twitter anonymous, social media blast, whatever we got going on. I appreciate you guys all joining. Thank you.
Good time.